attorneys say fair trial in KSR lawsuit virtually impossible in Kentucky. Lexington, KY. Attorneys for NCAA basketball official John Higgins responded this week in a brief in opposition to a motion by Kentucky Sports Radio to dismiss a federal lawsuit or transfer it to Kentucky. Understandably, defendants would prefer to litigate in Kentucky, the home of their devoted fan base, Big Blue Nation, the brief stated. And plaintiffs would face substantial obstacles to a fair trial in Kentucky. KSR operators Matt Jones and Drew Franklin filed a motion last month to dismiss the lawsuit filed against them by Higgins based on the argument that the state of Nebraska, where the lawsuit was filed, has no jurisdiction over them. The lawsuit, filed in U.S. District Court in Nebraska in October, alleges KSR and its operators Matt Jones and Drew Franklin caused harm to Higgins' family and his business by sharing Higgins' personal and business information about his company, Weatherguard, online and on radio broadcasts. Background: KSR lawsuit may not be frivolous, but experts disagree over referee's chance of winning. Background: Kentucky Sports Radio asks judge to dismiss John Higgins' lawsuit. Higgins' attorneys argue a fair trial would be virtually impossible if transferred to Kentucky. Defendants did everything they could to malign Mr. Higgins both on the KSR show and on the website, creating a substantial following among University of Kentucky fans, joined in hatred of Mr. Higgins, the attorneys said in the brief. The suit calls for an award of damages in excess of $75,000. Higgins officiated Kentucky's Elite Eight loss to North Carolina in March. There were 19 fouls called on the Wildcats, with 4 Kentucky starters called for 2 fouls each in the first half, and 18 on the Tar Heels. In the days following the game, Higgins received death threats from fans and the social media pages for his business were bombarded with reviews and comments. The lawsuit states Jones and Franklin repeatedly referenced Higgins, his business and the comments and reviews made by fans on radio broadcasts and online stories. The Sarpy County, Nebraska Sheriff's Department decided against any criminal prosecution and forwarded information to the Federal Communications Commission after an investigation. Attorneys for Jones and Franklin said the defendants did not purposefully aim any activities at the state of Nebraska. Omaha-based attorney Michael Cox wrote in the motion to dismiss or transfer last month. The defendants argued KSR is aired to the listening audience in Kentucky, even though it can be streamed live online or downloaded as a podcast in Nebraska. In an affidavit attached to the motion, Jones said only 0.22% of the website's traffic has come from Nebraska in 2017. Jones said he never encouraged anyone to defame, harm, or interfere the plaintiffs or their business and actually advised people to not take the actions described.